Hello guys, KaiZerZan here, and today we have another video for you. Today we'll be taking out the California, an American battleship at tier 5, and we'll be taking a look at how good this California is at being an artillery platform and getting rid of enemy ships. So for this match we are on Crash Zone, we got the northern spawn just above C, and I'm in a division with the Tennessee. Alright, so before we go any further, let's quickly take a look at our commander that we're running on the California. William Sims, inspired by Andrew Cunningham and Azalain Scharnhorst, standard double accuracy build. Now if we quickly look at the team composition there, we see each team has 3 destroyers and then a lot of battleships and of course an aircraft carrier. So me and my division mate here just above C, we decided we were going to try and push a little closer, not get too aggressive, and see if we can't support this flank as best as possible. Now the California is a very hard-hitting tier 5 American battleship. As we see, we just got spotted there by the enemy New Mexico and possibly the destroyer that's starting to cap C as well. Now it's just me and my division mates over on this flank. Unfortunately, we don't have any destroyers to spot for us, and we see the enemy New Mexico there, and we do take our first shot. Now the California is a American battleship that features 12 guns in total, and they hit very hard, I must say. And as you can see on our first salvo on the New Mexico there, we got just over 10,000 damage. Our friendly destroyer is busy capping B, and the enemy is also capping A. Now we see there's another battleship behind that New Mexico, seems to be a Mutsu, and then we see the destroyer must be capping C, so we know there's 3 ships on the enemy team on this flank. Now the California is, unfortunately, like many of you would know, very slow, a very slow battleship, and my division mate in the Tennessee is also not the quickest battleship around. Now we are up against the New Mexico, which is also a relatively slow battleship, and the Mutsu is, I would say, in my opinion, at least above average in terms of speed for this tier. But our biggest worry here is that destroyer that's capping C, and by looking at the minimap we can see we have a friendly destroyer that's coming this way to come and help us try and get rid of that enemy destroyer. Now here we are starting to reverse a little, as we suspect the enemy destroyer that finished capping C is probably gonna come over this way and drop some torpedoes on us. To see if we can't hit that Mutsu that's angled, we do take a shot into his broadside there, hoping for some serious damage there, and we do incapacitate something, and we hit him very hard there for 2 penetrations and 3 overpens. Now me and my division mate, we are discussing the possibility of where the torpedoes could be coming from, and we hope that our friendly destroyer that's in front of us will be able to scan and pick up the torpedoes beforehand, so we have some decent reaction time to turn our ships away. As we see the enemy destroyer there, a Benson is spotted, and our friendly destroyer does start opening fire on him, and I would love to also see if I can't hit that destroyer. The enemy destroyer does seem to be heading at full speed, and by the time my guns are reloaded I will not be able to shoot him, as he will be disappearing behind that island and my shells cannot clear that gap. Now my allied division mate there in the Tennessee did take a shot at him, but unfortunately wasn't enough to get rid of the destroyer. He did launch torpedoes there, as we take a look here at the Mutsu, seeing him be broadside to us, and we do take a nice shot into the Mutsu there, hoping for some serious penetration, but the Mutsu started turning in, and we did manage to get 2 penetrations and 2 overpens there. Now we know that enemy destroyer is still probably behind that island, and looks like our friendly destroyer, the Vakulin, is heading over there to go and hunt him down. So that'll be my focus for me and my division mates in the Tennessee, to get rid of this Mutsu if we can as soon as possible. And the Mutsu is at a slight angle there, but we still managed to do just shy of 5k in damage to him there, as the enemy New Mexico starts hitting me, and I do take some damage there. Now the Mutsu is a battleship to be wary of. He does have torpedoes quick reloading torpedoes. And also the Mutsu features 16-inch guns at tier 5, just like the West Virginia, which is a big threat. If you do not present the correct angle, you can and will be punished severely. I do manage there to get a very nice hit into the Mutsu for our first kill of the match, just over 13k damage, and we see there on the left the Mutsu's 2 torpedoes that he launched at us. Now my division mate here is turning broadside to the New Mexico to try and avoid those torpedoes, and I also changed my angle, trying to turn my rear guns on target to see if we cannot get rid of that New Mexico as soon as possible. Now here I do start entering the cap at sea, and we do manage to avoid the Mutsu's torpedoes, and we see there's still a Gator and a Fubuki on the enemy team left, as our friendly Vakelin, our friendly destroyer, they managed to finish off the enemy Benson, which leaves only 2 destroyers, 2 battleships and 1 enemy carrier left. We do have a 1 ship advantage at this particular point in the match, and our damage total is currently just over 76,000. As my teammates start chipping in on the New Mexico, and we do get our rear guns turned around finally, and we do hope to get some serious damage into the New Mexico there. Now luckily the friendly Vakelin that was hunting that Benson came down again, and he's also assisting me with capping C, which means that the capping points accumulate quicker, so we should be able to cap faster. Because the sooner we manage to get this cap, the quicker we start to accumulate more points for the rest of the match. As we get 1 penetration there into the New Mexico, and we fire our rear guns, and we see the friendly destroyer in front of us giving us will to rebuild if we did need it. That would be very handy. Now that New Mexico is presenting a very challenging angle to try and hit, and here I realize that the direction I'm sailing in, keeping that angle, will only put me further away from the rest of the enemy team if we did manage to kill this New Mexico. So I do decide to turn into the middle of the map instead of out, and now my rear turrets need to turn as well, as the New Mexico runs into the border there. And luckily that's one interesting feature that this game does offer. If a ship runs into the map border, its engine power is reduced, which leads to slower speeds and slower maneuverability, forcing, as a mechanic, trying to force the players to turn back into the field of battle instead of to try and steer clear of it, as we do get our main guns on target there on the New Mexico, and we fire a salvo. And unfortunately we only get 2 ricochets there off the New Mexico, as we were not able to finish him off there. But hopefully either me or my teammates could finish off the New Mexico and get rid of him for the rest of the match. Now we do see our front guns are reloaded there. We do take a shot at the New Mexico, and that should be sufficient enough to get our second kill of the match, bringing our damage total all the way up to 91,000. As we see the enemy carrier there, the Ryujo, and we see sailing in a straight line. We estimate him to be moving at a constant speed. We do shoot our rear batteries at him, and we get very lucky there with a double citadel and a devastating strike on the enemy aircraft carrier for our 3rd kill of the match. We do see the enemy Gator, German destroyer there, and our team is opening fire on him. And we do turn that way to see if we can't assist the team in getting rid of the destroyer. I did switch to high explosive shells there to try and hit the destroyer. As we see in the information feed there, our friendly aircraft carrier managed to get sunk by the enemy destroyer there. Luckily we are up 2 caps, so we are starting to accumulate a lot more points than the enemy team, and we have a 1 ship advantage. So the main aim here would be to find the enemy destroyers as soon as possible and see if we can't get rid of them, as the enemy New Mexico there snipes into our broadside, and we do take severe damage there. I do shoot some shells at the New Mexico, as we do get a high caliber medal there, but that was my mistake, not keeping an eye on the minimap, seeing where the enemy New Mexico is. presenting a broadside there. I could have easily gotten double citadeled, or even worse, completely killed. I got lucky there from the New Mexico, but luckily my division mate is heading over that way to go and deal with the New Mexico, as I do take another HE Shalvo into the New Mexico there. We do take slight damage from him there, and unfortunately we lost another friendly allied ship. Now it's a even matchmaking regarding ships. We do know the enemy destroyer is in front of us here, and we do expect torpedoes to be coming our way very soon, as we are spotted, so we know torpedoes should be coming from the front anytime soon. So here I switch to AP again to see if I can't get rid of the New Mexico once I clear the island, but my friendly division mate in the Tennessee manages to finish off the last battleship on the enemy team. So that leaves only 2 enemy destroyers left, and I switch back to high explosive shells, and we do know we are spotted, so that we assume the destroyer is still to be in front of us somewhere. As the first torpedoes here do arrive, and it looks like we are going to eat 2 torpedoes there, which causes flooding, so I immediately put out the flooding, as I was not expecting more torpedoes to be coming. We do eat a 3rd torpedo here, and we unfortunately are being gunned down by both destroyers, and I ate 3 torpedoes, which reduced my health significantly. I do take a 1 full HE salvo there at the Gator, and I managed to finish off that enemy destroyer for our 4th kill of the match. And we would very much like to hit that Fubuki once our guns are reloaded, but the Fubuki managed to get off another torpedo salvo that we could not dodge, and the enemy destroyer managed to finish us off. We do have a full health and friendly destroyer Hatsuharu, and then my division mate in the Tennessee left. We are approaching a 250 point advantage on the enemy team, which is very nice, and hopefully the 2 remaining teammates, our Tennessee and our Hatsuharu, will be able to kill the enemy Fubuki. Now our friendly Hatsuharu does start engaging with the Fubuki, and they start trading shots here, and I'm trying to keep an eye on the health bar of the Fubuki, trying to see how much damage he does take in the next few moments. As our destroyer manages to drop his own smoke screen, as the enemy's destroyer, the Fubuki, drops his smoke screen, and unfortunately no one is able to spot the enemy Fubuki, as we wait for the last few moments of the match to approach. Our Hatsuharu did take a little bit of damage there from the enemy destroyer, as we see more Fubuki torpedoes into that smoke screen, as we see our friendly destroyer trying to dodge those torpedoes as best as he can. Now the best situation here would be for that Hatsuharu, our friendly destroyer, to go and chase down the Fubuki to try and get him spotted, so my division mates in the Tennessee can shoot him with high explosive shells, and that way potentially get the destroyer off the map even quicker. Our friendly destroyer does leave his own smoke screen, presumably to go try and spot or to disengage completely, as we see there's only about 40 seconds left for this match, and then we should be able to clinch a victory in this match. We do see now that we just exceeded the 300 point advantage that we have in the lead of the points overall for this match, which means that even if we did lose a ship now, we would still be able to win the match on points. As our Hatsuharu turns back again to head towards where the last known position was of the Fubuki, and my division mate in the Tennessee identifies that he has been spotted, which means the enemy Fubuki has left his own smoke screen, so we presume the Fubuki to be out of his smoke, and there he is. He fires his guns just before the match ended. And luckily that we did manage to pull out a victory here. Domination mode on Crash Zone. We had a very nice match in the California there, just over 115,000 damage, 4 kills, 2,300 base XP. Just showing exactly how the California can be utilized as an artillery platform. Although it might be at a slow speed, but the guns on the California do hit extremely hard. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did like the video, please hit that like button. If you want to see more videos like these, please hit that subscribe button. Leave any comments or suggestions down below in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Auf Wiedersehen.